You ever speak to me like that again, better be wearing a cup.
Baby steps.
One break, I'm in
Okay, friends, let's everybody take your positions, please. Here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, rolling. Dave!
And
welcome to Dave and Dave Unchained, a Van Halen podcast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Dave.
And we are at episode 66, Dave. We are into the summer, June 2021. It's a miracle we're all still alive.
I know. Every day we wake up on the right side of the ground is a good day.
That's right. And we have so much Van Halen news that there's no dicking around up front. We got to get right into it with Van Halen news.
Van Halen
News! All right, well, there's so much here I don't even know where to begin, but we're going to start with this. The dinosaur video that we were all wondering about has been released. However, it still remains a mystery, and I'll tell you why. So, apparently it appeared in an Italian TV show called The Happy Circus on January 1st, 1982, and here we have Van Halen performing So This Is Love in a dinosaur park. It is showing them around a large-scale sculpture of a brontosaurus. The pictures that we were originally talking about, which the Inside posted a million years ago in their magazine, was from them inside the woods with a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So the mystery continues. However, this was an unbelievable piece of gold. Here we have old school Van Halen right in their prime, 1981 on the Fair Warning tour. Although it was aired in early 82, but this was filmed in 81. And wow, this is rare, vintage, pulled from the wine cellar, incredible quality VH. Right, Dave?
Yes. I mean, you can't believe how good the quality is either, considering this is like, what, 40-year-old video?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, crazy. And you're right about the mystery continuing. So some people were thinking maybe they filmed more than one video, and we've only seen one, and there might be some more out there. But finally, after all this time, we know what the pictures were from and at least one song they filmed.
Absolutely. I just want to say that this is exactly what Dave and I have been talking about. The treasure troves that we want are out there, and they're owned by different people, and they're starting to leak out one by one. Now, here we have the band, like I said, under this brontosaurus. Now, Alex has a sort of smaller kit than he normally has, of course, and DLR is completely decked out in this white spandex with an open shirt and piano scarf and promoting a prominent bulge, by the way. Jesus Christ.
I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, it was kind of hard not to notice.
If that was on MTV, I think they would have to haze it because it was like, hello, there it was. And Mike in his vintage orange jumpsuit, a little shout out to Ron Pio. Ron was the expert on the jumpsuit there. Roth, my God, he is in full David Lee Roth mode. He is humping the dinosaur's tail, snapping his fingers, running around. He is putting on a show like you can't believe. Eddie, in also classic Eddie outfit with the red and white striped shirt, with the matching socks and the white pants. Oh, this is prime VH. And Alex is in the black and white striped yellow shirt with his sunglasses, of course. The band looked beautiful. Now, of course, they're not playing live. They're, miming or what would you call lip-syncing to the actual tune. But you know what? It doesn't matter because it is so classic Van Halen. Dave is strutting around and clapping his hands and thrusting and kicking and flashing his chest. They had show Eddie doing a solo up close, really cool with his Frankenstein guitar. Roth looks like a rock god. I mean, frosted hair and just in sick shape and just mugging for the camera. This was absolute VH fan porn, is what it was.
It was. They're in their prime. They look like the band you remember they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only critique is that they're lip syncing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dave is Dave, and they're all having fun, and just finally that thing came out after 40 years of languishing in, Lord knows what storage bin.
The other thing I'm thinking is they could have done not so much a different video, because I don't think they would do two videos in the same sort of motif. What I think they might have done is maybe a few different takes in different parts of the park. Like, for example, where you see this particular one, it's very light, it's very clear. Now, the photos that were in the inside, they were in the woods, although it looked even meaner because it was a little darker. Maybe it didn't come out as clear. You know what I mean? It didn't come out as crisp.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the pictures, weren't the best. It was just somebody who happened to be taking pictures that day while they were filming the video.
I also think the Brontosaurus and playing underneath it kind of worked. In the pictures, the T-Rex is sort of in the background. Here, Dave is climbing on the dinosaur like he's playing along with it. So I think visually, it really kind of stimulated. My guess is they tried a couple of different spots, and that's what they went with. But
I'll bet you you're right. I'll bet you you're right.
And I have a feeling that they ended up just going with the live performances. For some reason, they thought this was cheesy or whatever. Now, looking back, it's gold. It's pure gold. It has, like Dave said, that sort of like film quality to it. It's not really shot on video. It almost has like a Tarantino film quality to it.
Well, yeah, it was done on film.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they did then.
Yeah.
And, getting Van Halen TV appearances back in that day, that's a rarity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is why this is the first item on the news, people. This is gold, this is platinum, this is silver, this is bronze, all rolled up into one.
Absolutely. And we got more. But wow, we got another unearthed video. Wow, another piece of gold. We are just rolling at it. Eddie Van Halen in 5150 with his short hair playing Amsterdam, which they note is 1985. Some people also noted it was 1987, but watching this closely in terms of Ed's hair, I think it's 85, and let me tell you why. Because when Ed cut his hair at the end of the 5150 tour, if you remember that live video, I think it's like the last night of the tour or something, they show him playing his solo. He's got the short hair, but it's not the same short hair that he has in this video where he's got like almost like a tail down the back or something like that. But I'm not sure. I can't really tell 100%. He does look younger in this video than he does in the live video, so that's for sure. He is playing Amsterdam, and I mean clearly playing Amsterdam. And here's a clip. The whole song is almost there. Obviously no lyrics or anything like that. But wow, this is what baffles me. If you have a song like that with that kind of bed, why they would have waited until 1995 to release that? That's a little shocking to me. Maybe Ed didn't present it to Sammy. I'm not really sure. But wow.
Right. I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Or maybe, Sam wasn't inspired for a melody at the time.
Yeah.
And then they figured out the song later. You never know when inspirations strike you. Or they thought they had better songs, so they put that one aside.
Right.
I mean, Ed was always one for, reaching back into the well to pull out old riffs and stuff like that.
Well,
right?
Wolf said it, and I agree with him 110%. Who says ideas have a date? As far as I'm concerned, That has always been the case with Van Halen, and that's for sure. We'll get into that a little bit later. And even more gold. Even more gold. And this was sort of more of like a jokey thing than music. Alex Van Halen. A video of Alex, Eddie's a little bit in this video, but Alex, 1987, Alex decides he's going to give a guy, what was it, Dave, $2,000 or was it $1,000 he gave him to shave his head? Ken Dean, who was the second assistant engineer, studio manager, I think it was, or 2,000. I thought he counted out 1,000.
Either way, it was a four-figure number for someone to completely shave their head and his beard.
Oh, and his beard. Yeah, okay, so Ken Dean, who's the second assistant engineer and studio manager at the time, he's like a stocky dude. He has a full beard and kind of full head of hair, and they gave him, I think it was $1,000, because I remember him counting out, or maybe it was 2,000. I think it might have been 2. So he counted out the money in cash that he had, and he gave it to him to shave his head, something I do every 2 weeks. Come to my house, Alex.
And you don't get paid for it.
And I get paid. No, it's a pain in the ass, too. So you hear Eddie off camera, because I think Ed's the one filming him or something like that. Ed says, hey, Al, leave a Hitler mustache, will you? Leave a mohawk. He's joking around, and then they were making a cross on the guy's head, and they said he looks like the Road Warrior. And as far as I'm concerned, these guys are bored. This is like entertainment for these guys. And I tell you, they also did Valerie's brother, David Bertinelli, who many know as a photographer. He's still working on that Van Halen book. I can't wait for that to come out. David Bertinelli went on tour with Van Halen, got some incredible pictures. Can't wait to see what he comes up with. Now, David had a bushel of hair like Richard Marx size. I mean, it was like a monstrous, thick, curly mullet. And I think he gave him $5,000 to shave his head, which was shocking. I mean, it was unbelievable, but it was a fun video.
He still had like this thing going on in the back of his head.
Yeah, he left some sort of like weird ponytail or something.
Right. Yeah.
It looked like a handle,
unusual.
like a handle. Dave, what did you make of these videos coming out? Like 2 more gems.
Yeah, this is all stuff coming out of the woodwork now because there's less chance of a negative reaction or negative ramifications coming from the Van Halen camp.
I guess so.
What I found interesting was this took place around 1987, I think.
Yes,
right?
87, so they're after the 5150 tour, probably working on OU812.
Right, I think, wasn't that around the time that Alex was getting sober? So I'm wondering if this was, a way to keep him busy and distract him and not have him fall off the wagon.
Absolutely. Alex is a prankster for sure. He's always true. A wise guy. Now, another clip sort of came out. I'm going to tell you. So we have this teaser clip that came out, this live clip of Van Halen from March 25th, 1979 was released. It announces as the first night of the Second World Tour from LCD Films. And it's a preview clip from this guy, Rob Adams. And it's the band take the stage and starting to play Light Up the Sky. It's on 8mm film, and then it says more to come. It teases you because right as they're about to launch into the lyrics, they stop it. But wow, I mean, the stuff that is coming out, we have to start making our own vault, guys. This is what it is, because when we get later into the news, you're going to hear a line that's going to set you back. That's going to be like, all right, we can forget about seeing what's at 5150. But I think that everybody who has stuff, and I personally know people who have stuff. They didn't give it to me. I've never seen it, but I know people that have been on this podcast have stuff, and we're not talking about Midwest Ron. we're talking about other people that have stuff that are sitting on. It's literally sitting in people's garages. I'm not kidding. I know that for a fact. Sitting in people's garages. I don't know what they think is going to happen to these things. They're going to end up getting tossed in the garbage. And let me tell you something. One thing I've learned doing my years of music journalism, if you knew the footage that has been tossed in the garbage, musical footage of the history of this country, you can't believe it. Record companies just dumping film in absolute garbage. In fact, I knew a guy who took